guys, how y'all doing? Trying to get my ugly mug out of the way so you can see the actual chisel plow. Night shift, where you at? Yes, I am a farmer. Here in northern Illinois. Gaming, where are you located? If you're on night shift, you're definitely not in the States. Hey, how you doing, man? Glad you're all here. Thanks for blowing up the chat. I like it when you guys talk to me. It's nice. It's a little lonely in here. Indonesia. Nice, man. I think you're the first person from Indonesia on my screen. What time is it there in Indonesia? Don't know much about Indonesia at all. Would you recommend visiting it? Is that a place that I should put on my bucket list of places to travel? So, I am doing tillage. Every year when you grow a crop, you want to work the soil up, especially for corn. You want to work the soil up. And kind of, if you can see it, it kind of takes the soil and it flips it and buries what we call the residue. So the corn stalks and the leaves and everything. It buries the leaves, so the microbes in the soil. And one second, I have to turn around. For some reason I can't multitask. It buries the residue in the soil. So it buries the corn leaves and corn stalks and everything in the soil. So the microbes, because there's millions and millions of microbes living in the soil, and they will feed on the corn stalks and help it decompose, so that we have a better soil bed for planting into next year. It also helps reduce erosion. It helps the soil breathe a little better. It breaks up compaction. And that's a biggie, because compaction all year around, you know, you're out there planting, you're out there with the sprayer, you're out there with the combine, with the grain carts, with the semi. You figure the semi weighs what, like 80,000 pounds if it's filled. The grain cart weighs 50 to 60,000 pounds. So you're going through the field with this equipment, this weighing down on the ground, is packing the soil, and the more you drive over, the tighter the soil particles get. And so the next year when you go to plant a crop, that seed that you plant has a really hard time pushing its way through the dirt in those compacted areas. So using the tillage, we're breaking up the soil, we're breaking up the compaction so we can have a better year next year. Oh really? This is the kind of dirt that you have in Russia? This is really good dirt. I know Italy's got really good dirt. I don't know what kind of dirt Russia has. But yeah, you guys have nice black soil there. So we will plant something next year. So not this year. Next we will plant soybeans into this field because we like to rotate the crops. So we are on a 50-50 crop rotation to where 1 year we'll plant corn, the next year we'll plant soybeans, then corn, then soybeans, corn, then soybeans. Because each crop has its own diseases, which doesn't sound very good. It's not bad. Each disease is specific to that crop. So corn has corn diseases, soybeans will have soybean diseases. And so if you put a year in between, so we planted corn in this field this year, so next year we'll plant soybeans, and it will help the diseases are in the soil. The corn diseases will basically die out, they'll disappear, so that 2 years from now, so not next year, but the following year after that, we can plant corn again. And it resets the disease cycle, if you will. The other reason is soybeans. So nitrogen is the #1 nutrient for corn. And soybeans make their own nitrogen. So we don't have to put any nitrogen down on soybeans because it makes its own nitrogen. So if we plant soybean makes its own nitrogen, and then the year ends, that nitrogen that soybean plant makes gets released back into the soil. And so the next year when we plant corn, that corn can utilize that nitrogen that the soybeans released. So if that makes any sense at all. Salvage. We do use pesticides. And that's a very... I guess my question is, which part of pesticides are you asking about? Like, we don't do preservatives and that kind of stuff. We do use pesticides, though. I guess I have to know more about your question before I can answer specifically. But yes, in a very general answer, we do use pesticides. And I'm not sure of your question. Have you attestation workplace? I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, man. Okay. That's good to know. So we do spray pesticides. We are very, very, I guess, careful. We're very meticulous with what we use and how we use it. Each one has been through rigorous testing, and I would explain it as best as I can. They test the life of that chemical for each crop. And so there's a pre-harvest interval that basically says, hey, you have X amount of time that you can't spray. If you're harvesting a crop in October, you have a 90-day pre-harvest interval. So you have 90 days, before you harvest a crop, you can spray it. And then within that 90 days, that pesticide has worked its way out of the system and is no longer there. But I have nothing against organic at all, other than the price tag that comes with it. I definitely see the appeal, but man, organic farming I give big props to the guys that do organic farming. It's hard work, really hard work. I mean, farming in itself is not easy, but organic farming is. I give credit to those guys. Why is that? Yeah, feel free. Go ahead. I mean, I'm sure you've got your... I don't know. Feel free to educate me. I mean, I'm always looking to learn. So if you can teach me something, I would love it. Most of the corn that we grow goes to the ethanol plant, for what it's worth. Most of the corn that we grow gets turned into ethanol. I see I've got a truck here. One second, I got a truck over there. He's out here checking out. I want to make sure he didn't text me. I'll be back in like 10 to 15 seconds. Alright, I'm back. I've got a guy out here. He subleases the ground from me, and I'm chisel plowing the ground for him. So I wanted him to come out here and take a look and make sure it's not too wet for his taste. Is that your biggest issue with it? Or are you saying digesting the pesticides? Because by the time that you consume a product that's been sprayed, whatever it was sprayed with should, assuming the farmer did what he's supposed to do, that spray should be out of the crop system by the time you consume it. It's pretty rigorous testing and regulations. Most farmers I know take pride in following those regulations. I know we do for sure. We take it very seriously. I always like hearing about other people's perspectives. If someone's digestive system is not healthy, all sickness comes because our body cannot absorb nutrients it needs. I agree. I agree with that completely. I don't know if it goes hand in hand with what we spray though, but I 100% agree that we need that healthy, I mean, I don't know, life is all about that health. And I feel like as a society, as a world, I mean, we're just getting unhealthier and unhealthier and unhealthier. I don't think it correlates with pesticides. I think it correlates with just an unhealthy lifestyle. healthy lifestyles. Actually, I think we've transitioned to healthy lifestyles. Boots, do you eat healthy? I know you don't. You got Kelsey making you those cookies every day. Hey, don't judge me. So did you get a notification that I was streaming then? Are they coming through again? Hopped on then? I don't know why your notifications are coming through. So I'm not gonna lie. Usually when you stream and you send me a link, if I'm being honest, I usually click the link and I just leave it running in the background while I'm usually with Rowan and Logan, and so depending on the sound, I usually have it mute. I just want to get your watch time increased. I'll watch it if I'm able to, but usually I just kind of AFK while I've got your stream up. I'll be posting random videos, random shorts, whatever, but I mean, every subscribe that I get, every like and subscribe will help, so feel free to join the crew. No, I'm not in Texas, low budget. We're in Northern Illinois here, so about an hour west of Chicago. Good old DeKalb County. Alright, I will be right back. I'm gonna check my text, see what this guy says, see if I'm streamed for 7 hours. Alright, we're back. 7 hours. Awesome, thanks Apple, appreciate it. What is Shadow Man? Is that for like YouTube thinks that you're abusing the system or something, or how do you get Shadow Man? Boots and I are both pretty new to. So Boots is a welder, and I'm obviously a farmer. So we both we're cousins. We both started streaming here, very fresh, very new. So we'll take all the education we can get on YouTube's, I don't know, procedures, how it really works. YouTube does that to some channels. It could be multiple reasons. Okay. You're saying that's why he didn't get the notification that I'm streaming, or you're saying he got shadow banned for streaming for 7 hours? Post shots. Sweet. The more you know. I feel like once you get YouTube's algorithms figured out, there's so much to it. Alright, Apple. It's probably an algorithm thing, but can you tell me why? Like right now, we've got 22 people watching, right? The other day, I was chisel plowing, and there's a consistent 235. 235 is my peak. I literally got a message from YouTube saying that I hit my maximum amount of viewers, of like real-time viewers. It says you cannot have more than 235 viewers at one time. But I was consistently at that 235 for the entire hour that I streamed. But here now, we've got 24 people. So I mean, like, why do I have 1/10, of what I had before? Is it just the time of day? Is it I guess it click-through rate has a lot to do with it. But I thought it was strange that, like, my stream before, I had a hard time getting more than 5 people at once to watch. It's like, one time, you've got 5 to 10 people watching, next time you got 200 some. Like, where's the difference? Sorry about that. I think it froze for a bit because we got a phone call from my crop insurance guy. So. Hey, we're back up to 23. Alright, how's the angle of the camera? Do I need to adjust anything? I thought about putting it on the back windshield. I keep switching between one and the other. Face out of the way. Do you think I'd get more views and I'm like I'll just do that for an entire pass. better not do that though. I might actually fall asleep. What do you think? Should I ghost ride this thing? Should I run out there and ride out the chisel plow? Like, hey, who's driving this thing? I don't know, but there's a guy on the back. Oh man, that pulled hard. Woo! Got some action there. There you go, Sorry. I figured, I'm like, I wonder if more people will come in here and watch the stream. They're like, hey, this tractor's driving by itself. Where'd the driver go? Exactly. Things that we do in the tractor cabs to keep ourselves entertained. There we go. Uh-oh. I just hit my throat. I farm it, but we don't own it. We rent the ground. But yeah, I am the farmer. Farms this. Like I'm not an employee. But it is not my farm. Yeah, no kidding. My very first broken bone, I was sitting on the fender of a cabless tractor while my buddy was driving it, and he was backing up, and the tire grabbed my leg and pulled it back between the fender and the tire. Completely shattered my big toe. But he thought I was faking it. He thought I was trying to get out of work because I jumped off the tractor. And I was like, my toe! He's like, alright, you know what? If you want to get out of working, he's like, go inside. He's like, I don't need your help anyways. So I go inside. And the next day I ended up going and getting x-rayed. Yeah, I broke it. So, like, see, I wasn't faking it. Yeah, it's quite a bit of ground. Quite a bit of ground. It takes. So it's my dad and myself that farm. We do everything 50-50. So and then we've got a couple of high school kids that will come and help when they're not in school. got the farm, and then we have a farm stand as well that we sell stuff at. How long does it take you to finish? I think we've got another, I don't know. I think if we were able to go non-stop, we could probably do it all in a week. I think we probably have another 4 days left. So this field here is 150 acres. Then we have another 100-acre piece, another 90-acre piece. So we could probably do about 4 days to finish what we're doing. But it all depends on weather. It all depends on breakdowns. It depends on. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, we've been too wet. It's been really wet here, and if it's too wet, you can't chisel plow. You can't do. So this is tillage. You can't do tillage. And even now, it's still kind of damp. It's kind of. We questioned whether we should go today or not, but we decided it's working up nice enough that we can go. So yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah, that's actually a big motivator for me for why I started this YouTube channel, is to kind of bridge the gap between like the grocery store and, you know, like, your food comes from somewhere, right? Like, it's, obviously, you know that, like, well, to a lot of people, food comes from the store. Like, that's where it comes from. Like, you don't realize what all goes into what's being produced, you know? So, there's a lot to it. There you go. Supplemental source of income. There's a lot of farmers that are, I don't know. Usually people have a secondary job because farming, you can't make enough from farming to keep food on the table and keep the farm running at the same time. A lot of times you just question, like, why am I even doing what I'm doing? There's a great sense of pride, a great sense of satisfaction to what you do. Like this year, I will be happy if we break even between all of our expenses and then where the grain market is currently sitting. It is really hard. I mean, with anything, you have good years and you have bad years. And on the good years, you can make, you know, a substantial amount of money. But this year, like, you'll be lucky if you pay the bills. And that's why you are going to see fewer and fewer smaller farmers. Most farms are going to go into big corporate, or, you know, they're going to go to the larger fish. We farm just about 1,200 acres or so, and we're considered a small fish. They say 1,000, 1,200 acres or so, that's about what you have to farm in order to keep food on the table and not need a second job. But the fact that my dad and I farm 50-50, well, it's no longer 1,200 acres, it's 600 acres apiece. And so we have our farm stand in town that we sell summer produce and like fruits and veggies, and then we do our pumpkins and squash and gourds and Christmas trees. So we just opened up our Christmas trees now. And that's our supplemental source of income that helps make ends meet. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you're saying. Can't even imagine all the hard work that is done. You really, sorry, it's kind of hard to read what's bouncing. 1 second, I gotta turn around. Here we go. Yeah, no, and even we try to farm with older machinery. We farm with, I mean, the newest piece of machinery we have, I think, is 2008, and that's new for us. Most of our stuff is pre-2000s, because we use older machinery because it's cheaper, right? It's cheaper, but it's still reliable, so you can still, you know, turn a wrench on it and fix it when it breaks. But a lot of times, you know, guys will be out there with new paint. You know, they'll have new equipment, big expensive equipment, and so people see that and they think that farmers are loaded. But really, you got to look at the note that's attached to that piece of machinery. If you've got a $200,000 tractor, you still might have, you know, $100,000 that you owe on it, $150,000. I don't know. None of our stuff is that expensive, which, because we can't afford to have anything that expensive. But yeah, I know. There's a lot of upfront costs that go in farming for sure. Does the weather affect your crops? Wind, frost, or floods? Yes, 100%. Actually, while I was streaming, I had my crop insurance guy calling me. I sent him the voicemail. I'll call him later. But yes, weather absolutely affects the crops, which is why you have crop insurance, because you don't know if you're going to have hail damage. You don't know if you're going to... 2019 was a terrible year because we typically, where we are located, we typically plant in April and May. But in 2019, it was so rainy that we couldn't plant, and we waited and we waited and we waited. It wasn't until about halfway through June before we were actually able to get out there and plant. And there's actually a lot of guys who actually didn't plant a crop that year. They ended up, there's something that is called prevent plant. Let me turn around here real quick. There's something called prevent plant where we've never experienced it before until that year, really. But it essentially says, like, hey, if you have these conditions that are in place to where you are not able to plant crop, crop insurance will cover you for X amount of dollars. I won't go into crop insurance will cover you for X amount of dollars, and then you just don't plant a crop that year. And that's what happened in 2019. We still ended up planting our crop because we had already put our nitrogen down. So nitrogen is the number one nutrient the corn needs, and you put it down. You can either put it down right now, or you can put it down in the spring, right before you plant. Okay, and you put it down through anhydrous ammonia, which is like a gas form. There's several different forms, there's several different ways to do it, but we had our anhydrous ammonia down already, and so you already paid for that nitrogen, you already paid for that input cost. And so when we got to the point of, well, do we plant or don't we plant, we're like, we already have our nitrogen down, we need to plant the crop, otherwise all the money that we spent on that nitrogen is, gone. It turns out we probably would have been better off if we had not planted and just let that money go to waste. But we rolled the dice and we planted and had a terrible year. But yes, weather is a huge factor with farming. Robotic driving control system. Depends on what you are talking to. So there's autonomous tractors, which are very, very few and far between as of right now. I'm sure we're probably headed that direction. It's probably like cell phones, right? Like, who knew that you could? Well, shoot, I'm using my cell phone right now. This live stream to YouTube, so that I've talked to somebody from Bangladesh today. I talked to somebody from Indonesia today. Like, who knew 20 years ago, like, that you could do that with a cell phone? That at that point couldn't even take pictures, right? 20 years ago, okay, you were just starting to be able to take pictures with a cell phone, right? And here we are today, like it's crazy. So as far as robotic tractors, your words, robotic tractors, but like tractors that drive themselves. They have tractors that don't even have tractor cabs on them. There is no place where you can sit on this tractor. It came out a few years ago. I think it was Case. Now several companies have them. But they have autonomous tractors, so literally they drive themselves. There is no spot for a driver. I don't know. I guess I don't really have any thoughts on them. I think it's really cool. I also think it's really scary. As with anything with technology, like how far is too far when it comes to technology? Where do you draw that line? Cell phones, like, I mean, I hate, I don't know, the technology is so convenient, it's so readily available, but I feel like there's almost more cons than pros, like, so I guess you gotta take the good with the bad. I think you still have to have somebody there to manage it. You still have to have somebody to run it, even if there's nobody on. And another thing is, yeah, the tractors can drive themselves, but who's gonna watch to see? I mean, this is a pretty easy job here. Chisel plowing is one of the easiest jobs on the farm, which is why I'm able to live stream and give you guys so much attention. I literally just have to watch it, make sure it's not doesn't break, and make sure that it's not clumping up, make sure my tires aren't spinning, and yada yada yada. But when I'm out there with the planter, fully autonomous. So, or maybe we're there, but it's not economically sound yet. You know, you can't justify paying the price that they have on it. The big guys might be able to, but definitely not me. So. Yeah, Granger's been here, man. He's been holding down the fort. Yeah, I'm back. My alarm clock was going off. I had to send a text message to our youth pastor, talking smack about soccer. So, oh, we're pushing up dirt. Plugging up there, you see that? See if I can run this down. Spread it out so it's not big and bulky, and then I'll go and hit it again. Oh, we are really... Alright, I gotta go smooth that area out. That's not good. Yeah. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh, we're gonna stop. Woo! Alright. I went for a ride there. Catching up in the chat real quick. Yeah, no, Apple, I think you're dead on with that. I mean, even without going robotic, government and big operations are definitely they are taking over. And I'm not entirely convinced, you know, there's not market manipulation going on, you know, driving these grain prices lower, you know. There's a lot of funny money out there, a lot of hedge funds that are... Looks like I gotta get back on my road. But yeah, I'm 100% with you. I mean, if the government can control production, you can control supply and demand, right? Like, I don't know. So I haven't put a ton of thought into it, but I think it's a very real concern. But until then, I guess I'm just going to keep doing what I do. And hope I can do it for as long as I want. See if I can smooth some of this out. I gotta use your approach. I gotta turn some audio on here. I mean, when I watch your stream, I mean, yeah, I'm watching it because it's your stream and I enjoy it. he's got good stuff playing. Although I could crank up the Dave Ramsey show right now. That way everybody can learn about how debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid off home mortgage is taking place of the FHW. That is a simple choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. Phone lines at 888-552. Farming Simulator. This is Farming Simulator. Farming Sim 2050, man. Super realistic. Hey, Apple, what do you do for a living? Just curious. You seem to be pretty knowledgeable and stuff. Yeah, 1029 for sure. Do you mean 90.7 or do you mean 90.5? I don't think I've ever listened to 98.6. Don't tell us too much, Apple. I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. Apple's over there like, oh, screw the government. Like, government's out of control. We need to take back. What do you do for a living? I work for the government. But I 100% believe in having government, but I do also believe that the government has completely overreached, you know. I think there's Actually, Granger and I were just talking about that earlier. Not about the balance, but about who's government. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess that fixes that, huh? You're okay then. You're okay. If you work for the government, you're over in Europe, we won't worry about it. You're... So where at in Europe are you located? Alright, the stream's gonna pause for... Oop, didn't mean to do that. Stream's gonna pause for a few seconds. I'm gonna check text messages real quick. Alright, we're back. I had to go and Google where you're from. I wanted to see pictures of it. It's looks beautiful there, man. I might have to come pay you a visit. Oh, I see coyote holes. You got some coyotes here. I don't see a coyote, but I see focus around here. I don't know if you can see it right there. That right there is a coyote hole. Okay, so what all, I mean, tell me more on that. Like, what all happened to small farmers there? So is everything ran by the government then? As far as farming goes? Farms don't even exist anymore then. It's not that the government took over production, but they're actually getting rid of farmland. Jeez, this sounds terrible. Yeah, I feel like that's where we're headed if we don't get our act together. I think I need to get my act together. I need to be one of those 3 people that controls everything. That's what I should do, right? If I play my cards right. say it's similar to that. So Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call it. So Facebook just built a data center on our farmland. So it was at a good location for them. And so they bought the farmland for a crazy, stupid amount of money. They spent a lot of money on it. But this dirt is some of the best dirt in the world. Like it's flat, it's dark, it's rich, it's full of nutrients. It's really, really good soil. And then this is what our area looks like. But Facebook bought a bunch of ground and basically built their data center on it. It was completely destroyed. So I used to actually, I didn't farm that area, but I sold seed to the guy that farmed the area. And so I was out on that property quite a bit, scouting his fields for him, making sure everything was growing as it should. And now it's just a giant building there. There's no going back from it, right? Like it's this beautiful country farmland that's being kicked out of production because we're evolving as a society, putting up these data centers. So it really gets to me. And then they started the trend, and so now there's more than just Facebook there now. Now we've got Facebook, Amazon, Ferrara, which is like a candy company, and then Kraft Heinz. So I'm pretty sure Kraft Heinz is international, but they're processing like ketchup and mustard and condiment, and I'm sure they've got a lot of other things, but they're basically took all this farmland out of production and built their concrete. I don't know. I understand that we need to build. I understand that we need these buildings are necessary, but don't take. This is like the best of the best for soil. It's the best of it. Like you do not have this black dirt in many other places. So it's really upsetting.
anything about them selling off their farms.
to look into that. But I mean, with everything going on over there, I mean, my heart hurts for the people from Ukraine. I do have a friend who is involved with agriculture over there, and he actually had to move to Turkey because what he does requires consistent use of the internet, consistent use of, he says there's a lot more times than not, he was without power over there in Ukraine. And so he had to actually move over to Turkey so that he could have electricity so that he could continue to work. So he says his parents and his family are still back in Ukraine, but he'll go back and visit them periodically. But yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, it definitely can of worms for sure. Yep, I agree. It's easy for everybody to have their own opinion. And all the same, I mean, the only thing that we know is what we're being told. And so, where do we get our information from? Where do we get our, I don't know. Something everybody should ask themselves. Farm Muhammad? Crops do you guys grow? Always interesting. What did you say you were from? Hungary? Is that right? I'm down to dual stream if you want to. That'd be fun to try for sure. Okay, you're a gardener, so you grow all sorts of vegetables, and that's a completely different type of farming too, for sure. Okay. Man, fruit. It's amazing how you can go to different areas of agriculture. So I grow corn and soybeans. If you put me into an orchard with fruit trees, I would have no idea what I'm doing. We have an apple orchard near us, and I've talked to him, and it just blows me away the knowledge that he has on what he does and how little I know about it. What kind of fruit do you grow there? Oh, are you ready to live stream, or are you ready to dual stream now, Mitch? Or do you want to do it when you're at the field call? start streaming, there's an option to co-stream. So let me know. Let me know when you want to do it. You can jump back on here and let me know. If you text me, I don't think I'll see it. And if you call, well, it's going to interrupt the screen, but that's fine. You can jump on here and let me know. Probably have like 3 or 4 more days of plowing. We'll be done. We got, so this is Roach Farm here. So we got the Roach Farm, we got the Chet Home Farm, which is another 150 acres here at Roach, 100 acres at Chet's, and I think Colby, which is like 90 acres. We should be done. So 3 days, 4 days. And then as far as losing the chat, I'm fine. You just let me know when you want to co-stream, and I'll just tell everybody I'll let them know that the stream's ending, but then we'll be starting it back up. If they're subscribed or if they're whatever, they should be able to find me. So if they subscribe to me and if they want to rejoin the stream, then that's fine. Apple, we have never done it before, but when you go to start a live stream, there is an option there to co-stream. So we're gonna try it. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, thank you, Apple. Yeah, everybody, if you are interested in what you see, if you want to see more farming videos, if you want to, whatever, I mean, no pressure, but like and subscribe. I try to stream anything I find relatively interesting with farming, as long as I'm able to. So, and I'm going to try to work on posting actual videos, explaining what I do, why I do it, and that kind of stuff. Trying to educate on agriculture the best I can. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe, and it'll make all the difference on my channel. And that way you can see when Boots and I start co-streaming. Apple. Yep, that sounds good, Mitch. I mean, Boots. Sounds good to me. And I mean, I don't know. Let's see, it's 2:50, so I'll be at most I'll be going for another 2 hours. It depends on if somebody else comes over and takes over for me. I've got a couple of loads of corn that I need to haul to Will Collins, so got a couple of loads I got to haul over to Prime Port. But I don't know if that's going to happen today or not, so just let me know. I'll let you know if I end up stopping the stream. Slipping here. Cloudy day, kind of gloomy outside. Out there saving the world one message at a time, keeping this chat a clean place. options here. So I can change who can send messages. So I can have anyone or subscribers. So you're saying make it. So you're saying change it subscription only for subscribe for 1 minute. Okay. That works. We'll try that. So as of now, only subscribers who have been subscribed for at least 1 minute can chat. We'll try that out. Thanks for the tip, Apple. So do you have a channel of your own, or I mean, where does your YouTube knowledge come from? Are you still there? Because I want to know what kind of fruit trees you grow. I don't think you ever answered. Okay. But I'm curious as to, I mean, if it's secret, don't worry about sharing, but I'm curious as to why you can't do it anymore. Is it because you work for a branch of the government, or is it for a different reason? What kind of streaming did you do? What kind of games did you play? How long ago was this? If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Just curious. I guess I'll share. I'm 35. I guess not that it really matters, but 25. Holy cow! I was not imagining. I don't know how old I was imagining. I mean, 25 is not young by any means, but what kind of games did you stream? No, 25 is not young. Sorry. My age is showing, because 25 for me is 10 years ago, which seems like a long time. No, it's not young at all. I mean, shoot, when I was 25, I was married for 2 years. Not young at all. But it's all relative, right? I mean, somebody was on my stream here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and found out that I was 35. And sorry, I keep clearing my throat. they found out I was 35, and they were like, "Holy cow, you're super young." I'm like, oh, not really. Like, I'm 35. I'm halfway dead. You know, if I die at 70, I'm halfway there, man. But then again, I think they were like in their 60s or 70s, and so I guess age is all relative. Okay. Did you have a preferred genre that you played? You like first-person shooters, or like throughout high school and pretty much all of college, I played World of Warcraft a lot. Too much. Probably, like anybody else who's played World of Warcraft, I put way too much time into that game. But that was really the only MMORPG that I played. But then I've also done, your typical, I've done the Fortnite, the PUBG, quite a bit of Call of Duty. I think my go-to now that I've got kids, I've got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. So now that I've got kids, my time for playing video games is very minimal. And so when I do play a game, I usually play Rocket League, because you can jump on there and you can play like a 5-minute match and then jump back off. You don't need to have a crazy amount of time. It's not like WoW where you have to grind for gear and do quests and stuff. So either that, or I don't remember the last video game I played though. It's been a long time. Alright. Heroes of Might and Magic. Alright. I don't know if I've ever played that. Heroes of Might and Magic, is that a MMORPG too, or what kind of game is that, Granger? vintage was a genre. I guess vintage, I think, you know, I don't know, Space Invaders and Pac-Man and Atari, I guess, is the most vintage you can go. Or I guess Pong. Pong would be the most vintage. Alright, I mean, what are we talking? What era is this vintage? Talking like early 90s? Early 90s I think that'd be an NES. Windows 95. Okay. So still, yeah. Windows 95, I think I was playing like King's Quest. Check, see if I've got any text messages. I'll be right back. The stream's gonna pause for a few seconds. I don't know. I guess Granger put it the right way, finding the glitch in the Matrix. Sound like a troublemaker, but a fun one. There's a world boss in World of Warcraft that basically one of its main abilities is that it would causes sickness to anybody within, I don't know, 20 yards. And there were some hunters, and the hunter's ability is to disengage and feign death, to where the hunter will pretend to be dead, so it loses aggro, right? And so the hunter would attack the boss, basically kite it all the way back to the main city by feigning death, and you'd kite it all the way back to the main city to where there's like hundreds of players. And then once that world boss was in the city, it basically wiped out the entire city. Nobody could respawn because nobody could stay away. Like, the sickness would just spread and spread and spread and spread. And Blizzard ended up having to shut down the servers and reset them because this world boss was just causing so much destruction in the main city. I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of thing that, although you're talking more coding though than you are gameplay, but that sounds like something that you would do. But what you do is probably a lot more complex than that. I'm talking child's play. You're probably talking like, I don't know. Well, there's also the really rare items that were in game, right? Like one specifically in WoW was the Reigns of the Swift Spectral Tiger. Is a mount that you can get. Incredibly rare, but then you would have people, probably like you, Apple. There's people out there who are duplicating this mount that you could get and then selling it, just selling duplicated forms, and you could sell it for real life money and make a pretty decent killing off of it. I didn't do it for real life money, and I wasn't part of the duplicating process, but I found somebody who did dupe items, and I would buy these items essentially for wholesale price using the in-game currency, and then I'd turn around and sell them on the auctions for, 2-3 times what I bought it for. And I made bank doing it, and then I ended up getting banned. And I spent the next month or two appealing the ban, basically saying, hey, I played this game for this many years and I have a completely innocent record. Come on, let me have my account back. And so finally Blizzard let me have my account back. They said, alright, you can have your account back, but we're gonna take all the items away from you that are in your inventory, so you can't sell them anymore. So when I logged back into my account, they had done it, they had taken away all the items, but I still had all the gold that I made from selling those items. And then I still had 20 auctions that were still live. And so since they were on the auction house, they weren't in my inventory. And so I still had all those that I was able to go ahead and sell. or use, I guess. So that was fun. That's my experience. I don't know. But that was a long time ago. Not only do I not play that game anymore, I actually sold my account for $1,300. So that's pretty cool. I guess that's one of the more adult things you can do, right? I sold my video game account, and I took that $1,300 and I put it towards my mortgage. So. proud. Honestly, yeah, he would. It's funny because I mean, I've listened to Dave for a long time, and I'd be sitting there listening to him, and at the time, like, I'd be living with my parents, right? Like, I hadn't quite moved out yet. I mean, I was still college age, right? So I'd be living at college, but then when I wasn't at college, I'd be at home with my parents, and I'd be living in their basement, and I'd be playing World of Warcraft, and then I'd be listening to Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey's like, I don't know, I don't know what he actually would say word for word, but he basically, nearly word for word, condemned adult children who live in their parents' basements playing World of Warcraft, was the exact, like, phrase that he used. And I'm like, hey, we're on the same team here, Dave, like, come on now, like, but, yeah, no, I'm sure he was talking to people who, you know, I don't know, I felt targeted, but at the same time, I thought it was pretty funny. OC, what's up? Welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah. Let's see. 21. At 21, I still had quite a bit of growing up to do. I mean, I think I had my priorities right, but I was still, I don't know. Man, those video games are addictive. I mean, I hate to admit it, but in World of Warcraft, they have the ability to, you know, you type /play, and it'll tell you how many hours you put into that specific character. And on my main character, I literally had over 365 days of game time. When I saw that, I'm like, I literally had put over a year of my life into this. Like, that's an entire year of my life that's wasted into, like, jeez. But I also, I don't know, I was also fine with it because, I mean, people watch movies and television, right? How many hours do you spend watching TV? And at least in a video game like World of Warcraft, you're interacting with other people. I mean, albeit it's virtually and they're across the world or whatever, but there's still interaction and you're still developing skills by, like, I would do raids, right, with 10 and 25 man raids, and everybody's got their own job, and you have to orchestrate, and you have to really, it involves a lot of teamwork, and it involves a lot of, and so, but still, I'm like an hour or a year of my life completely wasted to this video game. I'm like, all right, I gotta draw the line, so I got rid of it. the horde. Alright, I used to like you, OC. I don't know now, though. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. Reading your chat back and forth is cracking me up. I can't believe that actually fixed our issue. This is the first time we're actually running, second time that we've running for more than an hour. But I'm consistently, I know I'm streaming right now, but I'm watching my oil pressure like a hawk, watching my coolant temperature, watching, but everything seems to be doing just fine. Yeah, I can't believe that was it. I can't believe that fixed our problems. I can't express what it feels like, because potentially we were looking at, somewhere between $25,000 and $40,000 repair bill, right? Like we were looking at overhauling the engine and doing a major on it, and so if we were able to slap that $700 water pump on it and it fixed our problem, I can't believe it. Yeah, exactly. With farming, it's like, how many blows like that can you take before you have to throw in the towel, and I can take quite a few more $700 blows than I can, tens of thousands. I don't know. I was talking to my wife. I'm like, back when I thought that we were gonna have to overhaul it, I was like, I don't know how many more of these we can take, so luckily it was what it was, and everything seems to be running as it should. So again, thank God. Literally. Apple. Thanks for hanging out for so long. It's been really good getting to know you. I'll see you around. Alright, OC, correct me if I'm wrong, because I talked to quite a few people. I do remember you, but you said you live in Turkey now, right? Is that, or not Turkey, shoot. Is it Turkey? Thailand. Okay. I was right with the T. Okay. Where's your daughter and your grandson at? Do they come and visit you at all, or are they there with you? I knew it was a beautiful place that started with a T, and I know Turkey's beautiful too, so I figured 50-50, right? Probably, as any normal gamer would be. Chad. I know nothing about what you guys are talking about, so I'm just taking it all in. I don't know if Jack Out the Back is a TV show or if it's a YouTube thing, but I'll have to look it up. I'm assuming it's like ranching in Australia or something, right? Or am I totally off there? Okay, I'll have to check them out. It just got really dark here. Cloud cover just came in. Been here, but the clouds just got thick. All your input costs as well, right? Like you got machinery. I mean, everybody has to put down fertilizer. Everybody has to. So how is it different? Like, is it what's where I'm at? What am I looking for? Wow, totally blanking. But is it not as expensive there? Or? This is 150 acres. So where I'm turning around isn't the end of the field. I've got short rows that go into long rows. So the short rows run north and south, and the long rows run east and west. So right now I'm doing the short rows. So here I'm turning around at the road, but on the other end is still our field where I'm turning around. So once I get all these short rows done, then I'll go to that north end and start working on the long rows. Oh, there you go. Subsidies. Thank you. That was the word I was searching for. Okay. But see, subsidies make it a lot easier, but at the same time, I hate having government involved any more than it has to be. So there has to be some sort of, I don't know what the solution is. Maybe subsidies is the solution, but I don't want, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm glad it's a lot easier there. For our window to plant, we typically start early April, maybe not early April, probably mid-April through May. So once we get to June, you're kind of starting to push it. Although 2019 we planted halfway through June because it was so wet. So, but ideally you're done planting before May ends. And we usually start around April 15th or so. But we plant sweet corn and pumpkins as well. Pumpkins we plant later, like June, July. And sweet corn we start planting sweet corn in April. But we plant it like every 3 to 4 days. That way it's always fresh. So we'll plant it in batches. So when one batch is done, we can pick the next batch and then the next one. So we usually start planting sweet corn in late April and go through probably June. I'll be right back in a few seconds. Gotta make sure I don't have any messages. For hanging out again. Twice in one day, man. Take care, man. See ya. And then OC, yeah, we don't let the land sit fallow. We just work it into our crop rotation. So pumpkins, we try to give it, 2 or 3 years before we plant pumpkins in the same spot the second time. Then sweet corn, we also try to plant the sweet corn into, soybean stubble. So we got enough acres that we can usually, and there's only 10 acres of pumpkins and 10 acres of sweet corn that we plant. So it's pretty easy to work it into the rotation. You gotta get up so early. I was thinking you were retired for some reason. Or do you still work after being retired? like you're living the dream. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everything comes with its own stresses, and you know, like I'm sure there's a lot to it, but I don't know. It's just really interesting to me, caring about, you know, your life. To answer your previous question, no, we don't have a road that goes through this field. We do have several fields that do have like a wind tower road that goes through the middle of it, but this one, there is no road. It's kind of like an L shape, if you will. So with the L, obviously you've got two lines that are perpendicular. One end's shorter than the other. Right now I'm working on the short rows of the L, and then once these are done, then I'll work on the long rows. So I think that's the best way to explain it. Sorry, I just read your message. Maybe I laughed a little too hard at that. It does sound like a fairy tale. Hey, as long as you keep her happy, right? Ha! Yes. Yeah, that was a different field. That's the field that we're actually going to go to after this one's done. And luckily it was just a wind tower road. It wasn't a public road. So you can see the wind towers there in the background. There's a road that connects all of them, a private road. But yeah, he forgot to lift up the chisel plow as he was going through. So it's funny because all of we don't have a lot of farm employees that stick around forever, but because I mean we can't pay them enough and be able to keep the farm running, so we can only pay them what we pay them. So we built really good relationships with them, and you know, we try to teach them as much as we can and help as much as we can, other than through monetary means. But every time they leave the farm, there's always a story to tell about each and every one of them. You know, like one of them who it's actually my brother, but he's also not working on the farm anymore, so he counts. He forgot to put the tailgate down on the truck when he unhooked off of our gooseneck. So he unhooked off the gooseneck, and then he pulled the truck out and ripped the tailgate off the truck. Then, yeah, like you said, there's one where the kid plowed through the road. Another one where the kid didn't realize that where our field ended, and so he kept plowing into the neighbor's field and halfway across the neighbor's field. I had a buddy who worked for us in high school. He was riding our four-wheeler, and he wasn't paying attention to where he was going. He saw that he was he was gonna run into our shop, right? Like he was running into our shop building, and so instead of turning the four-wheeler, he panicked and he jumped off the four-wheeler and just let the four-wheeler keep going. And so there's a big dent in our shop where he ran the four-wheeler into it. I don't know. We've got stories and stories and stories, but that's what makes life so fun, so interesting. You know, like it's so easy to get caught up with these stories. Like with each and every one of them, it's like you get stressed out, you get angry, you get frustrated, you get whatever. But then years later, you look back and you can only laugh, you know? And so if you can just learn to laugh when it's happening, you're going to be that much further ahead. Are they your wind towers? Farm hands are usually seasonal gig. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, the wind towers are not ours. And since we don't own the land that we farm, my parents own a portion of it, but the majority we rent from other people. And so those landlords receive rent from the wind tower company for letting them build the wind towers. So no, we don't see anything for the wind towers. They're fun to look at. They're fun for date nights. Not that I've done it a lot, but I took my wife out. We took a blanket and a bottle of wine and a little picnic, and we laid underneath one and watched the sunset one night. It was corny but fun. It's kind of cool. But more than that, they're just kind of obstacles for us to farm around. Our GPS signal goes out every time I get close to one. But that is actually getting better with time, so I guess. But no, we don't own them. About 150 shears that come through seasonally per month. See, and that's interesting. Okay, so ultimately the cattle end up going to McDonald's. Like, that's where their last stop is. Yeah, and the wind towers, I think the landlords are paid a pretty decent penny for. I'm not even sure what they get, and honestly, it's none of my business, but I would be curious to know. But, I mean, you have to account that soil that they're using up that's permanently gone. You're completely ruining the subsoil there, and not just for the wind towers, but also for the road that goes through it. But as long as you're okay with that, you're being compensated. If you're not worried about your field being ripped up for that, then yeah. I know they're getting paid better for those wind towers than what I can pay them for those acres. So, same thing with we got a lot of solar farms going up around here too. Especially here in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of solar farms. So a lot of fields that normally would be planted aren't being planted. They're just going up into solar panels, and I'm pretty sure the landlords are receiving a substantial amount of money for it. And I think that would almost be the route to go. It takes up more area than a wind tower, but I think it's a lot less invasive on the actual soil itself, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's less permanent. Right here behind me, that's still part of our field. That's what I was, so those are the long rows. That, see how they're going perpendicular to the way that I'm going right now? So we farm, let me get going here, and I'll show you. So there's the field entrance is going to be bouncing. There's a field entrance over there. That's actually Bear right there, like Bear, Monsanto. They have a research facility there. But there's the soybean stubble, and on the other side of the soybean stubble is a long driveway. The driveway goes all the way down to right about there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Where the soybeans meet the corn, and then that's where these long rows are. So those, and they go all the way down there to those trees. I'm gonna zoom back out though. I don't want to make it sick. So the long rows go from way down there all the way. So that's kind of what I meant with the L shape. So. And then we also farmed this soybean stubble here as well. That's a 25-acre piece. So that'll be chisel plowing that as well. See, for solar, the solar farms that go up, you're not actually, you're not buying the farms, you're not buying so essentially you're just receiving the rent for them putting their stuff up. So even if they do deteriorate too fast, that's really on them. I agree with you. I'm very torn on whether solar would be worth it or not. I see a lot of people putting it on their roofs and putting it on, but I feel like it's almost like cell phones. Like the technology is going to grow so fast, and so like by the time you get it on your roof, and by the time you get it to the point where it pays itself off, the technology is going to be leaps and bounds beyond where it was when you installed it, in my opinion. So I guess I really don't know enough to speak to it, but that's my novice opinion of it. I do know a lot of people I know and respect, people who are very knowledgeable, have done solar, and I'm sure they've done their research, I'm sure they've done their homework on it, but it's not something that I would be willing to get into. But if I owned farmland and somebody told me they wanted to put solar panels on it, I would probably consider it for the price that they pay, and if it's not going to leave a big footprint when they leave, I think I'd be okay with it. So, that being said, as a farmer, putting my farmer hat on, I hate seeing our black rich soil, you know, not being utilized. So, hey, what's up, Bootsy? You at your welding job? Alright. Hey, you tell her to calm down, OC. Tell her that you deserve to move a little slower. You've worked hard your life. So, hey, enjoy your day, brother. It's good chatting with you. I'll see you around. Respect that, OC. I mean, I say if you don't understand it, stay far away from it. So, unless you want to lose some money, I mean, maybe you'll make out. Maybe it might be a good uneducated decision, but I'd rather just know before figure out where I'm going to land before I jump. You know. Alright, let's see OC. Alright, so you're all done welding, no co-stream then? We got a pretty good crew in here anyways, yeah, 46 people. Alright, what's up guys? We're just out here chisel plowing. Feel free to jump in. I changed the chat, so I had it set to where you had to subscribe in order to chat. But you know what? I'm not gonna hold you guys to it. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't, that's cool too. You can still chat away. Yeah, I felt that. I mean, I'm in the cab, but I could see the front coming through. It just got like really dark here, like 15 minutes ago or so. 20. I don't know. I don't know what time it is. Maybe it's a half hour. Yeah, no, don't blame you at all. So what field call was this? What'd you have to do? Where was it at? Still staying busy? OC that you saw that was in your boots. OC's from Australia. His family's still in Australia, and it sounds like a pretty decent sized ranch that they got there, doing sheep and cattle. But he's since semi-retired, and he said he moved to Thailand, and he owns a few bars in Thailand. in a mini hotel. A really interesting guy to talk to. A lot of fun to talk to. Mr. Bob. Which Bob? Bob Johnson? Bob Favorite? Bob Favorite. That's Bob Favorite. I don't know if you've done any welding for Bob Johnson. Yeah, it's really cool, the people you get to talk to on these streams. We got 47 people in here. I wonder how many different countries are represented. So far today, I've talked to somebody from Indonesia, someone from, totally blanking now. Yeah, it's long gone. You said it, I feel it, but Indonesia, France. Dang it, why can't I? Yeah, there's just people from all over the place. It's awesome. There's a guy from Hungary. And of course we had our own very own Granger representing Idaho. Like Idaho and potatoes. Idaho. Alright, Mitch, what field are we at? Oh, I already told you. Never mind, that's cheating. Would you have known if I didn't tell you? Where we live. It's alright. It's just the internet, you know? There's nothing dangerous on the internet. Hey, I got 48 people in here. Where you guys from? Represent your area. I got doxed. What's doxed? Yeah, where's everybody from? Let's see, 407. So, I mean, we're talking, everybody's, if they're Central Time, they're all watching that clock tick minute by minute, waiting for it to hit 5 o'clock so they can go home. Or there's, like, OC said it was, 5 o'clock in the morning there. Well, it was 4:30 when he was in here. And so he was just waking up, getting ready to start his day. That's Thailand. And then there's, I don't know. Somebody, I forget where he was from. But he said he was laying in bed. He's going to sleep. He's laying in bed watching. Oh, gave up personal information on the internet. Yeah, that's okay. don't have plans this Thanksgiving, feel free to come over for some turkey. Now that you know where I live, it's an open door. Help yourself. All right. Back to subscriber only chat. Nobody's taking advantage. We're all too quiet. I am missing the Dave Ramsey show to be here with you guys. I'm sacrificing. Daisy. Whopping 5.7 miles an hour. We're just about to the soybean stubble. So but once I get there, I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna work that soybean ground up. I'm gonna go AFK for a few seconds, check my messages. I'll be right back. The stream's gonna pause for a little bit. And we're back. You still there, Bootsy? Funny, anytime I alt tab, anytime I get out of my YouTube stream like that, obviously the viewers just drop off a cliff. We went from like 40 to 6, and then it popped right back. Look at that, 30. Just like that. We went from 40 to 6 to 30. So what's up, guys? Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. We are Chisel plowing. Yeah. Feel free to shout. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you got any questions. I will be your personal farmer guide for the day. I need to get some like farmer brando. I need to get like a logo. Some merch made. Farmer Brando merchandise. Then we can like put a picture of a chisel plow. I can say like I got plowed by Farmer Brando. Maybe change the wording a little bit. I can have my planter, a picture of my planter on there. I can say like, I helped Farmer Brando plant his seed. I mean, we can come up with all sorts of innuendos. Yes, of course. We'll only make one shirt of each of these innuendos. And it will only be for Caleb. everybody, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Feel free to jump into the chat. Bootsy and I are just here hanging out, chatting it up. We're in the wrong state for you to wear one of those shirts, Mitch. Alright. I think I've got enough. Maybe not. Maybe I'll charge it. Make up a shirt with a Farmer Brando live stream, maybe not live stream, but Farmer, I don't know. I'll put a QR code on there. People scan the QR code and it takes them to the channel. That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not positive that theory holds true or not. Oh, I better put my phone down because I got turned. I have stickers that I slap everywhere, but they're not QR codes. Did I show you those? I think I had to have. If I've shown them to anybody, I've shown them to you. I've got a roll of stickers in the center console of my truck that say for rectal use only, and they come in handy more often than you think. Put them on gas pump handles. You can put them. Uncle Bob. Oh, did I? Yeah, exactly. Uncle Bob got like half a dozen sweet corn, or a dozen sweet corn that he was bringing to his friend, and so I put one of those stickers on every ear that we gave him. So each ear of sweet corn had a for rectal use only sticker on it. Hey, what's up, Kiki? Appreciate the like. Yeah, one day I hope to have my own farmland. I'm fortunate enough I'm able to farm, but all the ground that I farm is rented. I pay rent for it all, but still, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful occupation. I love it. Every second of it. Maybe not every second of it, but the vast majority of the seconds. Alright, I got a phone call. I gotta take this. I'll be right back. Maybe. If I'm not back, feel free to like and subscribe, guys. I might not come back. Hey, I'm back very briefly. I gotta make another phone call. So that was Will that called, but now I'm gonna call Davey, see if he can come take over for me. So I'll be right back. Cutting broccoli and cauliflower. Coming out to take over. Doesn't feel like it should. I don't know. Hey, what's up? I'm gonna butcher this. Donato? I am in northern Illinois, where I'm about an hour west of Chicago. Where are you located? Italy, awesome, dude. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Italy, you got some beautiful dirt there. I mean, I'm sure not all of Italy does, but I know Italy has beautiful dirt. So there's really good prime farmland there in Italy. Some of the best in the world, I believe. Yeah, GoPro, I mean, once my data gets reset on my phone plan, I can use GoPro again. But for right now, I can't for some reason. I've used up too much of my hotspot bandwidth, yeah. We plant corn and soybeans for the most part. And then we do small amount of acreage goes into sweet corn and like pumpkins and squash and gourds and stuff. You go elsewhere and there's a lot of other crops, obviously. There's a lot of guys around us that they do wheat as well, but we don't plant any of that. You have a lot of farmland around you? Okay. Okay. Oh man, southern Italy. It's gotta be beautiful there where you're at. So do you live in the countryside? Yeah. Yeah, this is John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer or smells like a John. So we're lucky enough this thing was able to keep running. We had a scare here a week or two ago. Just probably a couple weeks ago. We were getting coolant in our oil, but long story short, it ended up being the seal went out on our water pump. So we were able to catch it soon enough. All we had to do was swap out the water pump with the new one. It seems to be working just fine. So really got lucky there. It's got a coyote hole. Fresh one too. Look at that. He just dug that hole very recent. One second here, let me get back on track. This is a 9300 tractor. It's an older 93. We've had it, I don't remember when we got it, probably back in like 2006 or so. Okay. We've got New Hollands around us here. Around us too, quite a few New Hollands. We don't own any, but there's a lot of guys around here that have them. So, if you have ran a Deere and you ran a New Holland, which one do you like better? I mean, you said most of your tractors are New Hollands. Is that, do you like them better, or does it just kind of flow better for your operation? Do they have an age limit for how old you have to be for driving a tractor? For tractors, you should be able to drive them. If you can drive them, you can drive them, right? there like an age limit for driving a tractor there? Or are you just saying? Because it said technically you can't drive the tractor because you're only 13. Oh, really? I don't think that we have an age limit here for tractors. I know when I was growing up, I mean, I don't know how old I was when I was driving down the tractor down the road. Nobody's gonna bother you. Look at that. It's pulling pretty hard. So how long has farming been in your family then? Okay, I'm sorry. Is that better? Oh, sorry. There you go. Is that better? I asked how long has farming been in your family? Let's see if I can set up my camera here. There we go. This should be good. Holy moly. That's awesome, dude. So you're planning on taking it over one day? I'm assuming, is it ground that your family actually owns, or do you rent it out as well? That is awesome. The best mozzarella. That sounds great. I don't think I have ever tried buffalo milk. Honestly, I didn't. I mean, I guess I don't know why, but I never actually realized that was a thing. Maybe that's pretty shallow of me. I don't know. Buffalo milk. I mean, does buffalo milk taste any different than regular cow milk? I know goat milk kind of has its own flavor. sounds, I don't know. I feel like what I know mozzarella cheese to be, 'cause I like mozzarella cheese, I like it a lot, but I feel like if I would go there and have mozzarella cheese, I would never want to eat my mozzarella cheese ever again. Stuck. You can't move anywhere else in the world because everybody else's cheese is going to be inferior to yours. You're stuck there for life now. We start planting like halfway through April, typically. The soil temperature has to get to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that translates to Celsius, but and then we start planting. So soybeans is usually about halfway through April, and then corn is in May. So you guys have vineyards next by you too? I mean, I know Italy's known for its wine. I don't know if that's where you are in southern Italy or if that's other places. Mozzarella cheese from, am I saying it right? Is it Pastum? If I were to buy some cheese from, or is it like Pestum? Like, but if I were to buy cheese from over there, would it be able to be shipped to where I am and still be just as good? I'm sure you'd probably lose some of the freshness. Because I just have to travel there then. I gotta mark it down on my bucket list. So I need to go visit. I feel like I butchered every time I say it, but I need to go visit Pestum in Italy. Go eat some mozzarella cheese, and then go home. Really expensive plane ticket just for some cheese, but man, it's gonna be worth it. Oh, your English is doing really. You're doing a good job. Oh, hang on. I've got somebody coming to take the tractor over for me. He just drove right past me, so I gotta give him a call. I think I'm gonna stop the live stream here. But hey, feel free to subscribe and jump in. Again, it's really cool talking to you and learning about where you're from. So feel free to join again if I'm streaming. I try to stream when I'm out here, so. But otherwise, it's good talking to you, man. And I'll see you around. Appreciate it. And same for everybody else that's just hanging out there. Thanks for joining in. Feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys later.